stopped at the second hospital I was at, is when I eventually realized that I was hit by a car on the bike. People told me I was on Morris. I was traveling south, so I was coming from there going that way. And as I was coming, there was a car stopped right there at that stop sign. And a big truck is what everybody tells me. And I was going, from what they say, maybe 30 miles an hour plus. He didn't realize how fast I was going, and so he went ahead and crossed the road and kept going. And I hit the brakes so hard that I flew over the bike, and what I imagine happened is he hit me, either while I was in midair or after I hit the ground and he ran me over. Right about here, I almost died.
He spent a month at Health South, and that was where he really started showing great progress.
I was slowly relearning how to walk again.
So that was like the third month. He was, at that point, the therapist actually knew Earl.
His name was Travis Dixon, and I had known him a little bit before my accident because he was also a cyclist.
So they had a stationary bicycle there and felt that that would be a great opportunity to motivate Earl and get him back on the bicycle.
It felt so good. I can't tell you how good it felt. Me back on the bike. After what had happened, yeah. Felt really, really good to me. Wanted to get back to my life. I still had a life to live, you know?
Well, I walk every day, early in the morning, because I like to see the birds wake up. And I walk about 5 miles every morning, and I'm 81 years old. But you gotta keep going. If you don't keep going, when you get older, you just can't go.
Humans are not ants. We don't want to walk in single file, but why do we design our sidewalks in that way? If we were to really make it cool, we would make a path like this that's 8 to 10 feet wide. We would design it like that so that we can actually walk and social interact with each other. Imagine going to your next work meeting and you can walk down the sidewalk because it's wide enough and you can have a group interaction.
Legally, cars need to yield to pedestrians in all marked and unmarked crosswalks. And at any place where you have an intersection, even if there isn't a crosswalk physically painted on the pavement, it's still a crosswalk. It's referred to as an unmarked crosswalk. And therefore, if any vehicle is approaching that crosswalk and the pedestrian starts stepping out into the roadway, all vehicles must yield.
1 in 5 individuals have a disability, and it's very important that all mode users be aware that there are individuals in our community that have unique and special mobility needs. That means that when they cross an intersection, they may take more time in order to fully cross the intersection safely to the other side.
If you imagine that you're just driving 3 miles to the grocery store, if you pause to let a pedestrian cross the street, that might be 10 seconds later that you get to your destination. I know we all have busy lives, but 10 seconds is usually not too much.
If you make eye contact with somebody, hopefully they're looking at you and they see you and they understand, okay, now someone's going to do something.
Wave your hand if you need someone to stop, slow down, wait, or you're going to proceed first, or if you want them to proceed first.
We're all a pedestrian at some point, you know, some more than others, but typically when you go somewhere in your car, you get out and you walk somewhere. And so we're all vulnerable at some point, and we should all understand those vulnerabilities and be aware of them whatever we're doing. On your cell phone, you know, you're distracted, and so we all have to take the responsibilities for making sure that when we're traveling along our roadways that we're aware of what's going on around us and not distracted. This location was put in because it was a prime crossing location from people between the two shopping centres, and they needed additional intervention to optimize the safety of the crossing for people using it. They put a median in, added rectangular rapid flashing beacons, which when pressed are quite intense flashing, attracts the driver's attention, making it clear that the priorities are there for the other users through crosswalk markings, for example, or beacons, separate beacons if it's crossing away from a traffic signal, pavement markings, like the green pavement markings we've been testing at the conflict zones on our bike lanes.
You go to a crosswalk when the lines are faded, when they're skinny, when the crosswalk itself is not inviting. One, the cars don't notice it, don't slow down necessarily, and you feel dangerous walking across it. But what if crosswalks could be designed with community input to be beautiful works of art painted on the asphalt where we're walking? Drivers notice it, they slow down. When we're designing our communities, we can make cool places to walk in.
Motorcycles are much more complicated than driving a car. Motorcycles turn much differently. They're two-wheeled vehicles, so they don't turn by steering. They turn by what we call counter-steering, and that's something you need to learn. If you just go out and start riding a motorcycle, you won't be aware of that. Next to intersections, the most dangerous place for a motorcyclist is curves. Untrained motorcyclists get in trouble in curves and often crash. And then obviously drugs or alcohol. Alcohol is much more heavily represented in drivers of motorcycles that are in crashes than it is in cars.
A lot of times intoxication is not just a problem for the drivers, it's also a problem for the people who are walking or biking or on a motorcycle.
Your abilities are much more affected by drinking on a motorcycle than they are in a car. The other thing is people that don't wear helmets. I mean, it's flaunting your own safety by not wearing a helmet.
It's estimated between 30 and 50% of people who die on motorcycles, if they were wearing a helmet, they would not have died. So it definitely saves lives.
There's a helmet law for 17 and under, and we have to have eye protection.
Most motorcycle crashes around here, it seems like, are caused by the motorcyclist. Riding too fast, weaving in and out of traffic, not using signals, not being predictable, not wearing safety gear, not wearing helmets, not wearing gloves. What do you think is going to happen? You come off a motorcycle at 50 miles an hour and you're not wearing a pair of gloves. Same thing with a bicycle. Like, you've got to protect the soft parts. That pavement really, really hurts, and gear is cheap compared to stay in the hospital. So.
With the bicyclists, helmets are very protective. If you fall off your bicycle, if you're mountain biking, for example, then the helmet can actually be very protective. Unfortunately, it's a little different if you're hit by a car because of the amount of force. Sometimes the helmet doesn't really protect with that amount of force. However, motorcycle helmets are more protective. They're built to sustain more force.
When I got back on the bike for the first time, so that was maybe 6 months after my accident, I went with Jeff User and we rode on a tandem bicycle.
Until we felt he might be ready for being on his own. And we started that, just riding around and getting his balance back. His big challenge was getting off and on the bike because his right leg wasn't working too well.
I got down to where I could dismount off the bike pretty well, but not remount on the bike. That was very hard.
Close to a year later, we'd done some riding up in the foothills too on the mountain bikes. And I said, okay, let's maybe go up the road to the crest. We'll just see how far we'll go. And he says, I want to go to the top. He was so excited. He said, I want to go to the top. And I said, okay, we'll take it one step at a time.
I kept feeling good and kept going. All the way to the top. Felt so good to be up there at the top. So good. It's very good.
Most people would probably have not made it out of the nursing home, would probably still be significantly handicapped, and the way he approached bike riding, his passion for cycling was such that there was not much that could keep Earl down.
Just wanting to get back to life. I still had a life to live and I wanted to finish and get back to it, I still needed to finish high school because I was just about to finish high school when the accident happened. And so I'm about halfway through my GED And so then after that, I'll probably start taking classes at CNM and then work my way to UNM from there. Maybe get back to racing mountain bikes and racing cyclocross bikes, just because those don't have anything to do with roads. I don't feel safe on the road anymore after what happened. With all the cars and everything, it scares me too much. When I ride to work, I'll run the road a little bit, but it's mainly on the bike path, and it just feels a lot safer like that, you know. I don't feel safe at all on the roads anymore.
As a provider, it is incredibly frustrating to see what is completely preventable, to be taking care of somebody whose life is now devastated, and to know that they could have completely prevented the injury.
You're going to have people that break the laws and make poor decisions. And you're going to have that in people driving cars, and you're going to have that in people riding their bikes. People are people, and we need to just all respect each other and each other's rights to be out there.
We all are going somewhere, but we should all be able to get there safely.